Today on Styrene Modeler's Haven, I shoot some white paint, I shoot some black paint, voila, checkers! During the piston-driven era of flight came some of the most unique paint schemes. There is just something about checkered-tailed and checkered-nosed warbirds that I love to replicate in scale models. Until now, I had not built anything using checkered markings as I am not a fan of using decals. I prefer to paint on as many of the markings as I can on my builds. When trying to use decals, I usually run into several issues like getting these larger decals to fit, conform to complex curves, and settle into all the details so they look painted. I had been avoiding finishing this Soviet-era jet starter cart as the instructions called for a checkered pattern to be applied. With all the raised details and wanting to get the pattern to look right, I did not feel ready to tackle this project. After applying the base white color, I tried to cut individual squares and mask off a checkered pattern. The squares were not a consistent size and I could not get them to line up properly. A fellow modeler at my local model club came to the rescue and turned me on to a method he has perfected. Using a simple masking technique, he was able to fully paint all the checkers on several of his recent builds. After he instructed me on this technique, I decided to have a go at it on the starter cart, but also practice first on a couple of spare parts. The process starts by applying your base color. For both the starter cart and practice parts, I applied Tamiya flat white. Once the paint was dry, the next step is to mask out the first set of the checkered pattern. For the starter cart, I used the instructions as I could not find good reference pictures and the drawings were very close to the size of the actual part. You can use your decal sheet that came with your kit to cut the masking tape to the right size as well. You cut the masking tape into strips and apply them to the part in a strip, spacer, strip pattern, using the same width masking tape as your spacer. On the cart, I started at the middle of the top and the middle of the side. For the flap, I was not as concerned, so I just eyeballed it, and for the cowl, I started at the top middle. Reference pictures can come in handy to get the pattern placed right. Since I was dealing with a more complex curve on the cowl, to get the checkers to look right as they made their way from the front to the back of the cowl, I overlapped the masking tape a little over the spacer tape. This I was hoping would allow for the correct shape of the checkers as they came around the curve. Working across the parts, I repeated this pattern in one direction and then the other direction until I had an evenly spaced crisscross pattern across the entire part. This being my first time, and with all the humps and bumps on the starter cart, I knew that I would get some paint bleed through since the tape would not conform tight around some of the details, but I figured I could go back later and make touch-ups. Once satisfied with the masking, it was back to the booth to spray some Tamiya flat black for the practice parts and flat red for the cart. After the paint had dried, it was a simple matter of demasking everything. You will be left with individual squares that make the first stage of the checkers. Next is to repeat the strip, spacer, strip process, only this time you will run your strips over the newly painted checkers. Try to get the tape to cover the checkers right on the edge. If needed, you can do thinner strips with a filler strip in between. Tamiya tape works well here as it becomes very flexible when cut into thin strips. Once you have the crisscross pattern masked over the checkers, you simply spray the same color again. Demask everything and what will be revealed is a painted on checkered pattern. For my first go at this technique, the results were quite encouraging. There were some spots on the cowl where the squares did not meet, and some were not quite the right shape along the curve. Bleed through had occurred in spots on the cart, but I was still amazed at the results. With a little tweaking of the masking process, I am sure I will be able to make everything look the part. This technique really opens up endless possibilities for my future builds. I can now play with pre- and post-shading to weather the checkers during the paint process. I encourage you to try this on your next build as I found it very simple with dramatic results. I have linked all the products used in this technique in the description below. Please comment on this video to let me know what you think. If you join my email list in the description, you can send me pictures of your results that I can share on my YouTube community board. Like and subscribe to my channel to be kept up to date on my latest content. Be sure to check out the description for my other videos on priming, natural metal finish, and filling gaps and seams. Thanks for watching!